Okay, I'm Justin Hairston, and we're here with extreme trail runner Josh. He has trail ran numerous places in California and Arizona, and I don't know much about trail running. I'm just an enthusiast, but he's going to tell us about what the best trails to run in California and Arizona, and you're going to tell us about the last time you've done your trail run.
Correct. Matter of fact, a few days ago, I was in the Bear Creek Preserve, which is in South La Quinta, California. It's a very, very popular mountain bike spot. Uh, I do see a few hikers when I'm out there, but I don't really see anybody trail running on most of the trails that I do it on. But I do have occasionally some mountain bikers come cruising by me.
Really?
And I think they're more shocked at seeing me up there than I am seeing them up there.
Okay, so are there more people on bikes than trail runners?
There's definitely more people on mountain bikes that I've seen at the trails in the Bear Creek than trail runners. Yeah,
Wow.
which is odd because of how extreme it is.
Okay, okay. Now, how extreme does it get when it comes to the heat, California versus Arizona?
So where I'm at, which is still part of the Great Southwest, the climates are almost identical between the eastern part of the Coachella Valley or the Palm Springs, right where the big festivals take place. That part of the valley is almost exactly the same as Phoenix. We get up to 110, 115 in the summers, and occasionally we get down into the 30s in winter.
Wow. Now, I would think that that'd be a better time if it's cooler.
It is. It's definitely a little bit easier on the body once I'm warmed up in the cold regions. But when it's hot, over 90 degrees, I find I can do a little bit less stretching than I typically do when it's cool, which kind of makes sense. The blood's already flowing when it's hot. And then, of course, to get my heart rate up to a decent level, 120 to 130 when I'm starting to get ready to then rip down a mountain, so to speak, trail running. And I believe, it might be interesting someday, Justin, but perhaps you and I could maybe see if we could get a mountain biker maybe willing to race me down.
Are you serious?
One of these sections.
Now, that would go viral. That would be probably, there could be a prize at the end.
Yes, I equate it to those old films when humans would like race animals in like the 100. You know what I mean? To see. Yes, I've been intrigued to see if a human can beat a mountain biker down some of these hills, because I believe that they wouldn't be able to go quite as fast as I can down the hills because of how steep it is.
Okay.
I believe the human body is a little bit more masterful.
Okay.
At computing distances for when to know the mind to tell the muscles, look, if you don't slow down right now, you're going to go off the edge. Mm-hmm. Whereas a mountain biking, which I have not done much of, there's definitely a factor of applying the brakes either too soon or too late, and that can definitely disrupt their movements down the mountain. Mm-hmm. Whereas, although I don't have anti-locking brakes, so to speak, the mind combined with all the muscles is definitely the best computer on the planet. You know?
Yeah, and I think with just the human body, you're more agile.
Way more agile.
With a bike, you might break something, you might pop a tire, and guess what? You're gonna have to just carry the bike all the way down.
Correct. Yeah, I travel very light.
So do you ever bring a bag or anything like that?
So once it gets to 100 degrees, I then will carry a bottle of a hydrating fluid, and of course a bottle of water.
Okay.
But the key to being hydrated is 24 hours leading up to the actual activity.
Right, right, right. I studied another trail runner, and he says he challenges himself on um, not drinking that much water because he gets cramped up.
Yeah.
So he concentrates on drinking his fluids like the night before. And I guess that's a method to you guys. You guys know your own body. I mean, do you have to train your own body to do that? Or can anybody, you can't just start doing that. I wouldn't do that.
Right. Yes, I think just like military, advanced elite military guys have talked about that you can train yourself to literally exercise in extreme temperatures, hot or cold, or extremely humid, and not experiencing what most average humans would feel in the form of headaches and nausea
I see.
with only exercising an hour or two in extreme elements. Whereas extreme athletes like myself, I can literally go run trails and climb up some decent mountains in 110 degrees heat. But I
Yes.
do like to keep those exercises under an hour and a half, really under an hour when it gets over 100 degrees.
Right, right. And I believe that there's so much tourists in Arizona that people from back east, they visit Phoenix and Tucson, and they hear about all these trails and these hikes.
Great point.
And
I
yeah,
know where you're going. Yeah.
you know exactly where I'm going, and they're not prepared because
No.
it's so hot, and some get dehydrated, and what do you call that when you pass out?
Heat exhaustion.
Heat exhaustion and heat stroke.
And heat stroke, yes.
And you know,
which comes on very fast. They say within 5 to 10 minutes, you can go from feeling normal to complete heat exhaustion.
yeah.
But no doubt, if you're coming from the colder regions for, starting in October and November, and then if you come out here even in March and April, where it still can be cool, but one day it could jump up to the 90s.
Yes, yes.
Even if you bring a gallon of Gatorade on your hike, if you haven't trained your body to give you the proper signs when you're exercising in temperatures, yes, very quickly you end up on the ground 911.
That's crazy. That's why you should always hike with a buddy.
And you should always, yes, that is a paramount rule. And although I don't follow that all the time,
well, you're an expert.
Yes, yeah. I was going to say I in certain runs that I do, I will make sure that I have a buddy that's there primarily in case I trip and fall.
Yeah.
Not so much for the exhaustion part of it.
But there was this young lady that died not too long ago because she got heat exhaustion, heat stroke, and nobody could find her, and she died.
Yeah, right.
So
almost every year, I think we experience that in the Southwest
because there's so many tourists, and you can't really tell who's a pro, who's an expert, who's just doing it just for fun.
No, you can't. Especially not with everybody wanting to get quote unquote that beautiful video or that beautiful shot.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
You see all these young ladies. I mean, they think it's like just like a photo op.
That's right.
And they look good.
They do.
They buy all the equipment. They get the nice tan, and some of them get red. And I'm like, yeah, well, what do you expect?
Yeah, that's right.
I was going to ask you this too, because I cannot go outside without sunglasses.
Yeah.
Now, now I see some people with sunglasses, some without. Now, what do you do?
I was born. I no longer have 25 vision, but I was a 25 vision guy.
Nice.
And I also believe because of my dark eyes, I think that helps to not have as much light refraction, I guess, that lighter-eyed people tend to experience.
Okay.
But yes, I don't use any eyewear ever.
No
eyewear. when I'm running.
Isn't that something? But you do use a headband.
But I cannot exercise without a headband.
You need a headband.
Primarily because the hair, when it gets into my face and my eyes.
Okay.
Any type of slight blindness from hair or sun when I'm doing something super extreme could be truly catastrophic.
Okay. Okay. Now I did see some of your videos and they look awesome. You've got that 360 camera, and sometimes you are with a shirt and sometimes you're without a shirt. what would you prefer?
So, I think in our last interview, I touched a little bit on earthing.
Yes.
And I also come from the belief that the sun's real vitamin D and the rays, which we know their radiation does come from the sun, in small amounts, in my opinion, 45 minutes to an hour, 3 to 4 times a week. When I go and get lost,
Yes.
I will get my sun, which I also believe is a true fighter of the C word.
What's the C word?
Cancer.
Oh, okay.
So I come from the total opposite belief that the sun gives us cancer. I believe it actually prevents cancer
Incredible.
in small amounts throughout your life.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
doesn't matter if you are a very light-skinned human. That just means you can still get some sun, but use a little bit of sunscreen. But don't go with the 50-60 stuff. 10-20, just only be in direct sunlight for little amounts of time until you work your way up to where I am. I'm very medically sound. See my doctor, do my labs every year. C-free, baby.
That's awesome. No, and you look like you're a physical specimen. I mean, you. I don't see any tattoos.
I have one,
You
just one.
got one tattoo. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying you've got
My body is my temple, that's for sure. Yeah.
no. You've got a great physique, and I think were you always active like since you were a kid?
Correct. Yep, 100% active. Love the outdoors. Football, track guy, college.
Okay.
And then I've really always ran, always ran.
Okay. So when did you start serious trail running?
About 12 years ago.
That's it. 12 years ago.
Yeah, about when I was right around 40, maybe 13 years. 52, around 39, 40, I started to read a little bit more and see some documentaries and stuff on earthing. And it definitely sparked a nerve for me. And so I started off, like anybody, a beginner, doing
Okay.
relatively flat trail runs where there still is uneven surfaces, but it's more sandy, less rocks.
Now, do you run or is it an incline or?
Yes, so typically it's a jog up the trail and up the hill, and then more of almost a sprint down. But when I do what I would consider, I consider 5 categories of extreme trail running. One being a uneven surfaced but fully very apparent trail, not a lot of rocks or boulders on the trail, where most beginning mountain bikers go. Level 2 has some rocks and a little bit more of incline. Level 3 would be what the most typical trail runner does, and that's what I consider what I do primarily on the trails at the Bear Creek.
Okay.
And then at some of the trails out here at Quartz Hill. And then the level 4 and level 5 is where you're pretty much not on a trail. And I think, I showed you a little bit of that video last time, where there is no trail. It's the side of a mountain. And I would say I might travel maybe 5 to 7 miles per hour on a close to 40% decline. So what most people would hold on to a rail walking down a set of stairs,
Something I would do.
I run down it. No rail, no stairs, over rocks.
Sweet.
Which I believe I've truly trained my brain
Okay.
within nanoseconds of what my eyes see to dictate where my feet need to go in order to not break bones.
Okay. I also wanted to ask you this. Have you encountered any animals?
Great point. Great question, actually.
Or any like reptiles or anything like that?
So in the Bear Creek Preserve, one time I saw at the top of a mountain. I was doing a mountain climb before I kind of run down it, and I actually spotted a rattlesnake, a gray rattlesnake. Actually, I have a picture of it. Perhaps
Cool. Yes.
I could share that someday.
Absolutely.
And other than that, I've actually seen bighorn sheep a few times.
I like that.
And we'll have to show the public some of the cool bighorn sheep I saw recently, about 3 weeks ago.
We want to see that. We want to see that. And what I want you to do is take your 360 camera.
Yep.
Try to find some of those sheep or maybe any type of animal, like and then just record it. And I've heard of mountain lions. I've heard of javelina, but
oh yeah.
Have you seen any javelinas on your trails?
I have not seen any javelinas on my trails or mountain lions.
Okay.
But bighorn sheep, yes, quite a bit. And ravens, lots of ravens.
Ravens, I love ravens.
Me too.
A lot of people don't know that in Arizona there are, I don't know how they got here, but there's a bunch of ravens and they're huge.
Massive.
They're like that big.
Massive.
And they're cool. They're really cool.
Very smart bird.
Very smart. And there are falcons around here I've seen. And some hawks, I think prairie hawks.
Prairie hawks.
Is that what they're called?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you probably saw a whole bunch of Gila monsters.
I haven't seen any Gila monsters.
Lizards, though.
Yes. Oh, yes. Lots of chuckwallas. And what's the big? Some bearded dragon.
Those are cool.
Yep.
Very, very
horned toads.
Nice. So, can you please talk about earthing on when you say something vibrates like either now does the ground, you can feel the ground vibrating, or like maybe a big like boulder?
Yes, boulders. And there is an actual term for people who boulder, which is it is a form of mountain climbing, but it's not. You're not using ropes and carabiners. It's more about like climbing up big rocks. And some scientists believe that with ley lines and stuff, that the Earth naturally produces these vibrations, and most scientists agree as well that energy truly is stored in these massive rocks. And there's no doubt after a day of bouldering, which there's a few areas I can do that, you actually do kind of feel refreshed after. I mean, you're exhausted.
Okay.
But you actually feel exhilarated, and I definitely think there's a correlation to that direct tie between us as a human species from stars, being grounded on Earth, but expending energy. So when we release the energy from our bodies, I believe we regain it from the Earth, so to speak.
I love that. And that's got to be a feeling. I've felt that before.
Yes, definitely a feeling.
And can you tell?
You're not going to get that in an office.
I know, but maybe a high quality video, you can probably get kind of entranced in it.
Oh, but, yes.
I don't know. I'm just joking, but maybe like a VR.
VR, I think you could get maybe some virtual grounding.
Yeah. But can you tell some of our viewers what carabining is?
Carabiners is that really cool thing that's usually shaped in a C, and it's got a latch that can be opened to where you would hook a rope into.
Oh, okay.
And carabiners are what are used for actual professional climbers.
I see.
Because you cannot climb mountains and rocks without ropes and carabiners.
I see.
Also, rappelling. Carabiners are used in rappelling.
Gotcha. All right, you know what I always wanted to do? Because I think from the outside looking in, that's how you get curious, right? Because I see you guys trail running, and I'm like, wow. I mean, I don't think I would want to do that if it's like 110 degrees. But what about if it's a little bit dark when the sun is just set?
That's actually one of the best times to learn how to equate to the extreme temperature is either early morning when it's still 90 degrees, as you know, out when it's 110 in the summer. Okay. In the mornings it's still 90, and in the late evenings.
All right.
But yes, when the sun isn't so direct, early morning or even evening, I would say would be the best time to teach your body, train your body to adapt to the heat, to where then you can work up to a full 45 minutes in the middle of the day when it's 110.
Okay.
But you can start off by just walking for 45 minutes as the sun's going down. Yes, absolutely.
Okay, but what about like maybe 7 at night in the evening, like when the stars are out?
Oh, I've only recently thought about doing a extreme night or dusk trail run. Okay, maybe with the full moon. I don't know if I would like to use an actual headlamp. You know, that they're not super tight and stuff.
Uh-huh.
But that's something we'll definitely have to explore. I have not done
Yeah,
one of those.
I would like to. I mean, because in Arizona, the stars are amazing. They really are. So I might want to explore that. You know, um, but is there anything else you want to talk about? I mean, what would the viewers want to know if they want to enter into trail running? What's like one of the first things you need to know before you start trail running?
Definitely start off with just a very light jog on a section that you might think is a little too steep. You know, obviously, like anything, you work your way up. But when you get to that point where you start to get a little nervous about maybe trying to trail run down something relatively steep, just start off with a nice little jog.
Okay.
And maybe you do that same section 10 to 15 times over a month and work up speed before you get into a full sprint down a extreme trail.
Okay. Okay. I just checked my closet and I actually do have trail running shoes. I've got some Adidas trail running shoes.
One of my favorite brands.
Yeah, the bottom of it says Continental. You know, the tire company.
Yes.
And there's zip up Adidas. So I was like, these are too cool to go high. I might get them dirty. So do you go through a lot of shoes?
I tear up shoes.
Oh my god.
3 to 4 months.
Oh, that's all they last.
Yeah,
huh?
3 to 4 months.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
But that's funny that you say that. Equipment, yes. A few of I know Adidas is one of my favorite brands.
Okay.
And for trail running as well. But I have tried the Skechers slip-on. You know, I'm getting a little older myself.
I don't see it.
And I tried some of the Skechers slip-on trail running shoes, and was thoroughly impressed. They, you know, I don't know if they need to maybe speak to somebody like me to maybe help them develop that area of their shoe, because I kind of tore them up a little too fast.
All right.
But it was their version of a running shoe. They don't actually have a trail shoe. You know what I mean?
They're probably just getting into it.
I think they might just be getting into that. But your footwear, paramount. Yeah, paramount.
Okay, I've also seen some people hike in strapped sandals.
Oh,
with no socks. I mean, do you use socks?
I do.
Okay, do you ever trail run with sandals on? Or?
I haven't trail ran with that type of sandal shoe you're talking about.
Okay.
But I have climbed with my son, I should say. So I'm not doing it too crazy. In my opinion, you definitely should have a shoe that can be laced.
Okay.
When you're dealing with extreme ground.
Okay. All right. So I think with your new 360 camera, you can video like maybe some water. Maybe if you hike around somewhere, that would look really cool. So we can upload a video like that.
Okay.
Is there any places around here? Because we're in the desert. We need some cool shots of like water.
Of some water. Yes.
Is there like a waterfall or like a stream or something that you can kind of like go over, run over?
I'd have to look into that. It sounds like out here, the closest place to get that might be either the Colorado or maybe the river that everybody goes tubing down out here.
The Salt River.
The Salt River.
Yeah. If you
correct,
maybe trail run to the Salt River and then take your 360 camera and then probably, do something with that Salt River. That'd be awesome.
That's a great idea. That's a great idea.
Some water shots and some exotic apparel, possibly.
100%.
You're the best, man. And we hope to see more videos from you. And we need to see Josh rocking exotic.
Rocking exotic.